I'm back. It's your boy Bunker, baby. That's why they started calling me on IRC. Hey, look. I must have been a cowboy. I should have been a cowboy. Remember that song? I should have been a. Now that song there is worth even. See, normally I don't listen to music, but that is one of the. I should have been a cowboy. Uh, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. Uh, let's see what we got here. Now this will kind of tell. Like I don't know nothing about music, but I remember that song. I don't know nothing about Toby Keith. I didn't even know who. I mean, that lots of people have done covers, but I don't know if that's the one I was thinking of. Uh, Now that there come in when you're at the bar, you're like, get me another beer. If you know when you used to drink and stuff. Hmm. Now that's my old good song. Say, They don't make them like that really anymore. And even that one there is not that old, really. All this new country, yeah, well, it's because you're getting old. Well, that part of it. They just don't make it. They just don't make stuff like they used to, whether it's in China or women or music. But I'm an original. That you, hey, you accuse me of a lot of things, but I'm an original. Yeah. Oh, big country. I mean, he asked me to go duck hunting. I mean, I was young and I just didn't. The idea of sitting in a boat in the cold with no girls around, and I'm thinking, yeah, man, maybe another time. And besides that, like I ain't never eaten duck except for like I said. What like if you go into town here though, it's like they get like $50 a plate for it, and I'm thinking, hmm, I'm trying to keep my talk. No, you see, I did it pretty good though. I was talking for what 3 hours, and I don't think I talked with any accent, did I? So now I still want to talk, but I'm getting sick of talking only because I need that. I still need to get more on the record. So it's starting to come. I'm sorry. But sometimes I feel like I should have been a cowboy. Huh? I don't know about riding a shotgun for the Texas Rangers, but yeah, I'm pretty much yeah, I like to stick to myself. Other than Maine, half the kingdom. Uh so you get an idea at least. Like I said, I mean, I ended up kind of alone, mostly by choice, kind of by being an only child. You know, I'll be honest. If you talk to any of my friends, I named them. I named most of them. I can still think of. They'll tell you, yeah, old Nicky boy. You go, hey, he was a little sensitive and a little quirky, and yeah, but he'd take it. We got along most of the time, and every once in a while, if it wouldn't have been for old daddy being, drinking and cheating on mama and mama going crazy, and then locking me into the paint. I mean, he probably have been all right. And if Mama wouldn't have been drinking all that coffee, like women, if she would have been doing what she was supposed to do, I probably would have turned out pretty normal. And then if my daddy would have stuck around, hey, I might have been taking old Johnny Rushmore a little bit more for his money there. I'll bet you. I mean, 'cause he was the only one in the whole in seventh grade, pretty much. Anybody that wanted to play dodgeball, I mean, I took out Langer, I took them all out. Never could get Rush Boy, ever. Oh, Detterman boy. See, you don't remember. See, Detterman, I'm in a class at Metropolitan State University. Well, how them quizzes go? Hey, I'm grandfathered in. Don't you didn't forget, did you? Listen, they had this guy. I forgot his name. Some Indian guy from. Well, his parents were from. Point is, what is the point? It'll come to me. I got so much I want to talk about. So Yeah, I mean, I clean up all right. At least that's what all the ladies used to tell me. I wasn't all smooth. I mean, I was about ready to ask, but hey, do you got like some kind of secret rock or something? Like what do you got in your pockets, man? I mean, what how do you do this? I mean, there's only so much Ryan. I mean, yeah, I get it. You hang around Ryan, like I mean he pretty much like the Tom Brady of no, he wasn't. So there's only so far I can take this way, man. The guy had like this secret power. Oh boy, you're so cute. Oh, boy. I mean, he had so many girls. I mean, he didn't know what to do with them. I mean, they were knocking down his door. I mean, I just don't know. And it wasn't because it wasn't for his brains. Trust me. Not that he was a dumb guy, but I think he got locked in the closet a couple times too. You know, his parents. You want to talk about a looker? Oh, his mom. I'm thinking, Dave, what were you thinking? I'm thinking same thing with my dad. I mean, they're like, hey, we're gonna go drink some beer and go gamble. I'm thinking, yeah, look what happened. And you wonder why they went crazy. Look at them lookers. Y'all left them, huh? Let old Ray Ban get him, eh? Yeah, get old Kung Fu boy come along. He say, I don't need none of that beer. Give me half the kingdom. Yeah, but oh, come here, Bubba. Oh, boy, you're so cute. Oh, can I come sweep in your bed, boy? I want to come and spend the night. I mean, that's like, no wonder he couldn't study. You know, man. I'm like, how you do that? Like, I know you're a little better looking than me. Man, you're funny. He's funnier. Wave. I always got people left. But I'm thinking, Brandon, what's going on here? I mean, there's only so many. Yeah, you know, I know your brother's 4 years. You know, he's cool. He's cool. You know, he invented cool and all that. So he got a little kick down there. But this guy, man, never did figure that out. But oh yeah, man, you should have seen him that day. I never seen him mad, but he was mad. Well, I seen him mad one time. I'll tell that story. That's a story for the end. I got a few stories that make me a little uncomfortable. You know, not so proud of I'm gonna hang that one's going on the end. We're gonna tell. Remember, you want the good news or the bad news? I'm saying let's give them the good news for now. We got to get them on the good right side, right? So, what was I gonna say about that guy? I forgot. Sort of man, so there is some that like I don't listen to music anymore. I don't. So like if we're doing like a speed dating love connection, you know, Chuck Woolery. No, I know nobody wants. You got to have unless you're Fuckler, you don't need no money. I mean, they don't matter. Okay, but if you're me, you got to have a bunch of money, and I only got enough to take right now. See, so and I'm thinking, yep. So what can I talk about? I don't know. Why did I think of that? I should have been a cowboy. Yeah, that was one. There's lots of songs, individual songs I like. It just reminds me of too much. Like I just don't. I don't feel like there's any place. I don't want to be. No offense to any of the gentlemen that may hear this. I wasted so much time, and I never found half the kingdom. And all these guys, they found half the kingdom, and then I guess maybe that's part of it. They say, well, that's why we did. That's how why we're still married. So we go out to the duck blind with the boys for a while. We get away from them gals, and that's how we keep it going. And you know, whatever. I don't know. Or I like to go upstairs and I watch my ESPN, and she like to stay in the kitchen and bake. You know, okay. I mean, hey, I guess they still live together. Y'all work if it works for y'all. But you know. So all I can think of without being sounding desperate at this point, it's like, and it's going to make it tough because you're being around a few guys like Bull, right? You don't want no sympathy. You know, I mean, that's you want to go on the on secret, do something. You want to keep me safe, like behind the back, right? Well, or you know, but if I got to see it and you come up to my face and I can feel like you're pitying me or you or something, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want no gal just to right. So, but it was more important for me to to demonstrate that I'm only half a weirdo, still a fairly normal guy. That was the most important thing than to go out and be. It just was. I don't trust nobody no more. Nobody. I don't know who to trust. It's a strange world. Gosh, what was I gonna try to say about that? I got talking about I played that song and then that we were I started talking about that what was I gonna say about the Indian, the guy that was born? I'll probably think about it. I need some caffeine. I'll be right back. No, I'm not. I don't know. This is kind of as boring and maybe lame and as like the gal on the internet said. Well, you were mostly a loser all your life, aren't you? Well, I mean, I guess if you call drinking beer having fun, or a little, like I said, working in the family business, going out to California, painting $1 million homes, playing as much basketball and working out into my 30s, and then smoking a little pot and liking naked ladies once in a while. Yeah, I guess that's being a loser. No, I didn't go to Drake. Not didn't make it into Duke or Indiana. No, not even close. Neither did Bud though. And hey, like I said, I mean, I mean, if his parents would, because he wasn't still. I mean, Ryan was pretty smart, and I guess you can tell. You see, you can tell my hypothesis, my theories. That'd be a theory, right? A theory is a developed hypothesis, from what I understand. But Ryan was older, right, before his parents really broke up, so he was developed. And they keep saying, "Oh, don't worry about it." And they, what does that? No, it's just a reason, just another reason of why. And so, how do you make the best of your life at this point and not get murdered? Yeah, let's figure that out because we probably aren't going to get a few people to watch. So, man, that's irking me though. What was I thinking? I had a nice, good point. I played that music because I was thinking I should have been a cowboy. I don't know why, but grew up on a farm with horses, pigs. I told you that. Would go out and milk cows. Went to yeah, all that. I said all that. So there was this. I'm taking this course at Metropolitan State University. Final course, strategic management. I have not done a SWOT. I don't think I ever did a SWOT analysis because I was like I was like Bull. I just paid people to do my homework. I'd find that the cool, the guy with the pocket protector. I'd flip my few extra buck. No, I'm just kidding. I can write. So I go. This guy's he's got Indian parents, Sahooth or something. Look like an app. I mean, know my guy. Parents come over. I could look it up. So I'm thinking, why did I meet this guy? Because old Amarillo Slim, I'm in Amarillo Slim's class. You'll know why I call him Amarillo Slim. The next thing you know, he got a guy, some guy that sold Encyclopedia Britannicas in California in La Jolla. You ever been to La Jolla? I have. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tammy never really did make it quite, and she was in that. She met a couple guys. She never did really get into La Jolla. Like she had an apartment or something. But as far as really, I mean, she knew a lot of paper. But hey, it's California. So why is this Indian guy, where his parents are from India? He's full-blooded. What is that? Is it okay to say? See, if you say Indian in America, right, you don't want to go down to Lake Street, especially now. You're plastering you're saying they'll beat you up. No, so you'd have to say Native American down on Lake Street, or you wouldn't make it home. But he's from India. His parents came here in 1940 something. His dad was here for 4 years. Did the real thing for 4 years. Went to college. Brought the mom over. They had him, so he was born here, I guess. Brooklyn, New York, Jets fan. Why am I watching this guy? Yeah. So, why did I say that? It's talking about. Yeah, I mean, like St. Cloud would be you still got to be you got to at least know how to do algebra to get in there. St. Cloud State, or, play hockey or something like Langer. Kind of little similar to Minnesota State Mankato or something like that. I mean, you might have had to pass a science course, actually, like really know, but you had to pass biology or something for real. But obviously Metro, oh, what a loser. Well, hey, I never was interested in anything, right? I just wasn't. And I've got, my grandma owns a restaurant, Milda's Cafe, my step grandma. My mom owns a restaurant. I work there, eat anytime I want. Go down to Milda's, eat all the time, every weekend. Eat. So I got all the food I need. I know Mark Creasel, so all I got to do is give him a pizza once in a while. And I got me a little bag of pot, which, they'll bring in the SWAT team. They used to bring in the SWAT team for like a little bit of pot. Like you think they were looking for an 8-ball of crack. Yeah, I mean, they'd have German shepherds and guys that we ate, like 20 guys in vests. They'd have you at gunpoint. Can you believe how we evolve as a society? How norms change? I mean, the gray hair you probably see on my beard, I wouldn't even have that yet if it weren't for all Well, that's the only time I've ever been paranoid is when I was like when I driving around with a little tiny bag of pot, thinking they're gonna pull me. The SWAT team's gonna jump out and like take me to jail for 30 days. Other than that, I've never been paranoid in my life, except for well, whatever's been happening. Okay, so yeah, I mean, why did I? So I'm watching this guy, and he's telling us this story about I don't know why. Gosh, I had a good point. I must be getting tired. So, yeah. So I mean, right there, like again, not to and me. I did. I had a lot of fallings out. A lot of falling out with my. I'm telling you, your mama drinks caffeine like gallons. She's all freaked out because your dad is cheating on her, gambling the money away. She don't know. She's. I mean, she's stressed. There, my dad is not. My dad is not keeping her calm like most husbands should be doing when she's pregnant. Okay, so she's that's where her neurosis started. Okay, it wasn't on the farm. Yeah, and then the paint. I mean, okay. Uh, so we lived in Ham Lake. My dad built a house when my parents were first married. I lived in Ham Lake. My grandfather Harold, remember, he had his trigger finger and he wouldn't let him give him any wooden nickels either. He taught my dad how to build houses. Okay, my dad he still tells the joke about oh what's his name? Not what's his name? Another time. What was that guy's name? He used to be in a building with him. Uh, you'll have to forgive me, please. And, but it's Friday, and I need to. I got to see if I can reconcile what I'm gonna do here. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna do my class because I'm listening to an Indian guy. All he was worried about is how to get rich. Okay, so he was trying to figure out how what chemicals, what accounts he could get. Finally, he got one. Sold a few Encyclopedia Britannicas. Then he sold his company, and now he's like some baseball therapist trying to get into. I don't know. Seemed like an all right guy, I guess. I don't know. Tired. So I really don't listen to music. Um, Pretty much like jazz and classical. And it's kind of like taxes. Even though I got a 4 year degree in accounting from a mediocre state university. Yeah. Like, don't ask me who the composer is. All I know is if I turn on Minnesota Public Radio, the classic, I like it. Sounds good, relaxes me. Used to enjoy drinking wine, 10 years ago. Towards the end, when I was younger, it was beer, and then I like to drink wine and listen to classical music, and sometimes a little jazz, little hotel, you know, cabaret music. Yeah, and then every once in a while, I'll hear a song like Toby Keith or whatever, and it'll remind me of when I was in my 20s, right? Hanging out in the bar. If that song come, I mean, you're like, hey, let's go to town. I'm ready to go on the dance floor. I can't dance at all because you remember white men can't jump and white men cannot dance. But if I hear that and I've got 2 or 3 beers in, I'm like, all of a sudden I'm a dancer. I'm like, hey, Scott, you want to go on a dance floor? No. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm just trying to come up with more. I don't know. I swear, it's published or at this point. I know. I'm sure, especially anybody that ever knew me, they're like, "Oh God, Nick's being white again." Y'all don't know what I've been through. You don't know anything. I've been quiet for 20. You ain't seen me for 25 years, and you probably ain't seeing me anyway. 'Cause I don't know how because I ain't reaching out to nobody. If I got one or two little nerd pocket protector buddies out there, Revenge of the Nerds, and they decide to cook up a couple algorithms for me, you know, and they get it sending us something. Okay, fine. Hey, thank you, love you, and appreciate it. But other than that, that ain't my point really. Hey, let the if it gets to somebody run across it, I don't know how it could possibly happen. Especially since I changed my name. Except, like I said, Google. If I'm on my phone, you know, I'm in old Chantel's off, or not Chantel, not Gabrielle. Gabrielle and Chantel, no. Sonny, no. Dusty, you were told to get out of town by dawn, dusk, huh? Get out of Dodge. No, it was Shanna Mentafel. Yeah, yeah. See, I figure, back in the day, when you could still, what did they say? You can fool the what? You can fool most of the world most of the time, but you can't fool all the people. I mean, I know, like I said, I do. I feel like a nice, good-looking guy like me, not totally. If you talk to Langer and Johnny Bush, Rush, boy, yeah, they'll tell you. I mean, yeah, Nick. But I probably should have been more successful, right? So yeah, I mean, I feel a little, but it's like Auntie Avis. Remember, she lives in Portugal now, or Spain, or France, or somewhere. Works for the United Nations, University of Minnesota. Never done a drug in her life, ever. Never. I don't even know if she's ever drank. Never touched a cigarette. Never, ever. Eats tofu and health food. And likes to go to art shows. She, what? I need some coffee. Yeah, so I suppose you could say I guess I rode the coattails of people here and there a little bit. Doesn't everybody? But they capitalize on it more, right? So what is my excuse other than a broken family and I don't know, too much time on the internet, too much time. Uh, all that pot Mark Creasel made me smoke. Whatever happened to Creasel? So I'm tired. So now this video is nowhere near that last video. I'm pretty satisfied with that one too. Publish or perish. What should I talk about? I want to talk about. Um, oh, I mentioned suicide. So, does anybody have? Oh, oh well. If you ask Secret Doctrine or Seventh Beggar or just about a whole bunch of people on Pal Talk, they'll tell you how many times they told me just to commit suicide and just do everybody a favor, myself a favor, society, and that way they don't have to murder me. That I should just do it myself. Well, I had a Becky. So remember, my dad comes from a really pretty normal family. State champion wrestlers. Dad was pretty good golfer. I think Becky was almost a state in something in tennis, or But her first husband was Mark. He's like a colonel or something. Another full bird colonel in the Air Force or something. I don't know. I could tell he didn't really like me. Mostly that, it's that first child, only child, first grandchild, little kind of spoiled kind of syndrome. That's all it was from him. And look, he's an officer. I think he went straight in as like an officer or something. He's pretty smart. He ain't stupid. He's good looking, young, athletic, and he's in the Air Force. So he's a pretty serious guy. And apparently, he's busy. And so Mario, I guess, Mario would have been the second, right? After me. Yeah. I guess I don't know. So the story behind this one is, and back then, see, my dad jokes and says that all 25 of Becky's children are either married or have jobs. So they're doing pretty well. Becky's been married a few times, but her first husband, the Air Force guy, I don't know. It always surprises me. Again, in America, if a nice, good gal comes from a librarian Gordy worked at Cornelius for 50 years. Electrician. Remember Gordy? Yeah, that's my grandpa. Gordon Dahlheimer. Remember Leo? Leo and Rose. Remember Rose? She lived to be about 150. Remember, she was blind as a bat, but she would sit up there and she was sharp as a tack. And Daddy would tell stories about how they used to go down and have parties and drinking parties, I guess, with Grandpa and Rose. I mean, hey, that wasn't never happening with my grandpa. So I don't know what they were doing. But hey, all I remember about that is only thing I remember sitting with Grandpa Leo a little bit in the old house there on the river. And I remember me and Grandpa Gordy bringing Grandpa Leo, great Grandpa Leo, Copenhagen snuff. He was blind too, and had no teeth. But boy, he had to have the snuff. I think he lived to be almost 100 too. But we would go up and see. I would go up and visit Grandma Rose in the nursing home just up the block there. That reminds another friend I had. What was his name? He was the San Francisco treat. No, he's a guy. That's weird. Oh, what was his name? He was into the San Francisco 49ers. I was friends with him for quite a while. Originally, he ended up split when It screwed me up too. It really screwed me up is when we went to the big house. When we all went from junior high, they split us up into two different. So they split half the school up. Half the people went to Northdale, and half the people went to Coon Rapids. So I lost half my friends right there. I mean, right out of the gate. That wasn't good. But Ryan Reynolds, what happened to Ryan Reynolds? Man, he was a decent looking guy. He's pretty normal. He lived right up the block from my grandpa Gordy and Lois. I was friends with him for many years. Wasn't he a big San Francisco 49er fan or something? Yeah, he had Montana stuff everywhere. Let's see. So we would go up to Grandma Lois or Grandma Rose, and I get, I don't know. I guess that's where I get my I don't try to be funny. I'm just I'm talking I've been talking forever, so I try to throw in a little humor just to keep it instead of. But I guess Grandma Rose was the comedian. I guess I don't know. That's she would always have people laughing. And she knew everything. She couldn't see, but man, her mind was as sharp as Iggy. She was there till the end. She knew everything. Okay. And so I did that all the time. If I wasn't sitting in Grandpa Gordy's lap or Grandma Lois's lap with binoculars, no, not so when I got older I could go to elementary schools and groom little girls. Yeah, so they'll live next to me for 10 years, and then when they get old enough, they're barely legal. No, we built birdhouses down in the basement, huh? And we would put bird baths out, and we would sit there. And this was before in Anoka, Minnesota. Anoka, Minnesota got so bad. Grandpa Gordy finally he had to put up a fence. And it wasn't just for the dog, okay? So yeah, we would sit there, but I'd go there every weekend. And Daddy's already out in California, getting the work done on Leslie. I give her, she got the work done. Hey, Al Franken, honk honk. She got the little work done. But hey, I'll give her this. So there's another story Daddy will always do. When they first moved out there, Leslie was pretty decent looking, right? I mean, there's only so much point though when a woman is so crazy. I mean, it don't matter what she looked like, right? Hey, I'm thinking. But apparently, when they first moved out there, she was in they were at the beach and people came up. They're like, hey, can we take some pictures of your gal? Because we got a magazine here. It's beach issue. We want to put your woman in. And they're like, okay. So they got something, no big deal, but nice looking woman, right? I give her a compliment because I'm ripping on her bad, right? So that's all we're doing. It's every weekend at Grandpa Gordy's, Grandpa Lois. I got Grandpa in the closet. I mean, you want Grandpa Gordy? He's like. Grandpa Gordy was like the paparazzi before that guy, you didn't see him without a camera. I mean, he had photo albums, and so we would sit there and I'd make him tell me who was this for hours, right? 2, 3 in the morning. And then, during the day we would have books. That was my favorite thing to do as a kid. We would have bird books. And we would look. I would have binoculars. And I'd be like, oh, Grandpa, hey, dude, I think this. And we get the book out of it. Oh, yeah, I think it's that one. Oh, yeah. Real weirdo. I was such a weirdo. And then we go up to see them and Mario, though, I guess he was pretty smart. I don't know. This is the story my dad tells me. Like I said, for some reason, for a guy that really never got into too much trouble, I always get 5 different stories Like it seemed like they can't keep the story straight. The families can't keep the story straight with me. You'd think they'd be, and that I always get a variation. I don't know. Not sure why. And everybody else seems to know what's going on except for me. Just a theme seems to be a theme that's always been my life. I guess they're just trying to protect old little Nicky boy. I don't know. And so I guess Mario, I don't remember, man. Maybe he seemed like he had to be in his 20s, but he got up some special, like like a guy that's gonna build a house or something, and he's got the, like a house, like a like a blueprint, like a real blueprint. Like he like did this all professional about hangman, and had it all measured, angled based on his weight and height and what was in the. I mean, there was no way he was going to make sure. And I guess he hung himself. I don't know. Don't know why. Yeah, I mean, come on, Mom. All Star, Anoka, Minnesota, Halloween capital. Good looking, athletic, popular, lots of friends. They move out to Colorado Springs. Marries a Air Force officer or something. Nice, normal, regular family. All I heard was, like he's so into his work. Again, ain't loving his wife like the Bible commands us. She gets bored. She's like, you don't deserve me. And then, you start fighting. There go half the kingdom. She gone. What? I don't know. And then why Mario decided later on, because that was, I don't know. So my first cousin is gone. Well, yeah. Uh, we didn't spend a lot of time, but it's your first. It's your. My dad goes out to California when I'm like less than 2. Apparent Kessler. My dad still tells that. I'm gonna say it too. Can I say it? It's G-rated. It's funny. What's G-rated? My dad still jokes about old Kessler. He says, what does he say? Old Kessler couldn't get a date at the Bunny Ranch with $10,000 in his pocket. Okay, I don't know what that means. But that's what he always tells me. And so apparently they were into building houses and everybody blames my dad for something. But the truth was that he was having problems because of my mom. And, they were breaking up because he was into the beer and the other girls and a little bit of gambling or whatever. Pretty typical of a lot of guys, right? And then the housing market went bad and they were speculating on a few. So they had all their money in some houses because they had the house in Ham Lake that he built with my grandpa. Really nice, pretty nice place, brand new. Ham Lake, Minnesota, USA. Highway 65, right down the street from Gregory Troy and Jane Eisenshank. In fact, what's his name? Which I found this out later. I didn't know at the time. I couldn't even remember. Tom Eisenshank's brother. Tom Eisenshank goes to North High in North Minneapolis with Tom and them. He's 1 year marries, and they finally move out to there. And I guess Tom's brother lived right across the street. And I used to go over there and play. I forget his Daryl or something. It starts with a D, Daryl or something. I'd play with his kids in the basement or something. And I didn't even remember. I didn't at the time when I think of it. I didn't until somebody mentioned that 10 years ago. I couldn't even. I wasn't aware of that. That was Tom's brother. So they can't sell a house. They lose all their money. Dad's only got a few $1,000, doesn't know what to do. Mom's pissed, they're breaking up. Now they want all his money on child support like everybody else. So he knows, what's his name? The mechanic. What's his name? Over there in Vista. George. George the mechanic. And George the mechanic's got some girlfriend that flies for Delta or something. So Dad goes out and lives with George, the mechanic, for a while, I guess. Bangs his girlfriend and every other woman in the county. And so gets into like real estate or something for a while, and they keep coming after him for child support, and he's like, I'm just trying to, like me and everybody, we're like, hey, that 25%, I mean, that, can you lower that just a little bit? I mean, how do you expect us to live? Forget going gambling. We're just trying to survive. And he's trying to get, move around. And so then, yeah, so he's been out there for 42 some years. And then I start to go out and visit him. And I think he does pretty good for a guy that really, really likes to drink beer and is really, really, I guess, enjoying California and trying to survive. And he's got a new family and wife. And I think he did pretty well. I don't know. Like I said, the topic of child support, for some reason, I don't know who's that. It always seemed to come up, right? Lock, step, and barrel, right, in order. I don't know, but that did bother me. Like, I'm gonna influence half the kingdom about your child support. Are you serious? And I ain't going surfing. I'm cool right here with my skateboard. Nah, not playing. So he lives on a go. So yeah, he does pretty well. He's out there. Remember old Scoop, K-ish money, San Luis Ray Downs, and I do. There's one thing I did do, and I will admit it. I'll talk about it. Not now, because you want the good news or the bad news first. I did one thing as a kid and it was by accident. Um, that was, yeah, it was. Excuse me. I'll tell, but just it's not the right time. Just for my dad, because I know there's if my Leslie and my dad were sitting, they're screaming at them. Tell them about what you. No, what about their? No, we're not talking about the wrenches. The time I scratched your one time I scratched your car when you guys were all drunk playing softball, and I'm like 2 years old, and you leave me in the car with a bunch of pot laying around and some Playboys, and I accidentally tried to start the car because I thought it was an automatic, and I was being cool, and I was gonna be the good son, and here come my parents. I'm gonna get the car going for them, and it's a clutch, and I scratch your brand new 1962 something. I don't remember what was it. Cherry red. I don't know. She tells me every time, all right, when she sees me. She's screaming at, tell him what else? I'll tell you this. One time at Woodland North, y'all remember Woodland North? Yeah. Right up the block from Pat. I think Pat was, I think she ended up working she ended up bartending. She was whatever happened to her boys? I was friends with her boys. I can't even remember their names. I think they were twins. Right on the south side of University Avenue, my my babysitter for like, where we used to watch the Jetsons and Fat Out. What you talking about, Willis? The Jetsons and all that. Every morning we walked to school together. They were pretty normal. We did it. We rode a lot of bike together. Mostly because their mom was my babysitter, but they were my friends. Jason, maybe, and somebody. I can't remember their names. It was so long ago. I think didn't she start she probably she's not alive now. She can't be. She'd be 100. Uh Pat. I think she ended up eventually bartending at like the VFW or something maybe. I don't remember. I did pull the fire alarm one time at Woodland North. I don't know. We were just screwing around. We were playing racquetball, and I had walked by it 50 times, 50,000 times, and finally I was like, I'm curious. What happens when you pull this fire alarm? I'm just curious. Oh yeah, it raises your blood pressure, and the fire department comes, and they want to say hi. Yeah, that's about it. Um. So other than stuff, I did that one time. Man, I was so evil, wasn't I? Did I ever burglarize anybody's house? Did I ever break anybody's? No. Did I ever steal any? Did I ever break in my mom's house? We're still trying to figure that one out. Yeah. Like I said, there was those black guys that used to come over. And I'm not saying, but they were the only ones. I'm telling you, this is night. There were the only black people in the whole city, and they lived kitty corner. And they would come over and put their guns on the play basketball. And then one weekend, I went up north and I came home and my whole window, my mom was smashed in. I didn't do it. I think my mom thought I had something to do with it, but I was up in Balsam Lake, Pete Medved Lake Place, Grand Rapids, snowmobiling, and I came home and the worst part about that is they stole my mother's wedding ring that my father Mark got her that she had kept. That's why she was really mad. And so that was the only time something really, really bad happened. And so if you ever wonder why I might think somebody might want to rob me, it's happened. And usually when you leave for a while, that's when they like to smash your windows in. And this was a townhome, so there was people around. So I mean, they knew what they were doing. They were watching. They figured it out, and they stole my mom's wedding ring. It's kind of sad. My mom was pretty sad, and I think to this day she's not sure if I might have hawked it or something. Because I did hawk a few things of my own, but I didn't do that. I swear to God. I had nothing to do with it. I was up there, and my mom was so busy working. She was working two jobs because they probably just started the restaurant. And my mom so she'd work at Mercy Hospital. You know, I mean, she was going to be a regular nurse, but once she hung out with my dad, remember me? Nobody, yeah, you ain't ever met anybody that I don't drink, but never fell over or anything. But look, so she met my dad and she thought, well, there's I'm going to work in chemical dependency. Yeah. It didn't help. And so I didn't have any, if my mama ever saw it, I swear to God, I think she thinks maybe I had somebody or I allowed somebody to do it, or it was an idea. Hey, wait. Oh, and they stole all the stereo equipment and everything. Only thing I could think of it, because literally the back of the door was like you could see it was those kind of apart. They were, that wasn't that bad of an area. Remember, now there's a mosque within about 50 feet of there. But there was these guys, and they were kind of shady. They had guns. They looked like this was 25. They looked like they were gangbangers, and there was a bunch of them. They had a family, but I could tell there was. And I went to school with them. One or two of them played basketball on the basketball team or something a couple times. But they would literally come over, well, say hi once. They'd be like, hey, I'd be like, hey, and they'd put their guns on the grass and play basketball with me. So I don't know if it was them or if it was somebody else watching, but that happened. And it hurt me because my mom, I think that was during a wild time, Jacob Wetterling. They tried to, there was a lot going on. And my mom was working two jobs. She would go straight from Mercy, and then she'd go get on her hands and knees and scrub the floors at Jay's restaurant. And she'd stay there for hours. She'd get 2-3 hours of sleep. And she comes home, and I'm nowhere to be found. I've just started kind of getting into a little, probably just Pete had moved out. I told her to go fly a kite, smoke my first cigarette, smoke my first pot. I was up snowmobiling. I was getting a little rebellious, and she wasn't sure. She thought maybe I had something to do with it. I did not. I would never do that to my mother. And so that always frustrated me that she even thought that I would even consider like staging a scene or something. And I tried, how did I get on that? I don't know. So dad's out in California, does all right. More coffee. Yeah, so if you ever wonder why, hey, maybe this kid got in, I mean, this kid was in this, unless he was convinced he was in, special ops security when he was about 2 years old, locking everything down, 100-degree weather, and then they smashed my window, and I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, hey, it's happened. So I'm the kind of guy like, hey, we ought to always have somebody home watching things and keep an eye out, then something, you know what I mean? It's just natural. Yeah. And so I guess Dad, where am I at? How did I get on that? So Dad's out in California. I'm out there every summer, you know. Not that anybody really wanted to hang. I mean, they did. If I called, like I said, I was close with a few people. And but I was always gone, so I never made the connections, the long lasting connections. They were always severed for 2 or 3 months during the summer. And then so and then they took half my friends from me when they half went to Northdale. And got no dad ever. And then so my mom's got there's 5 sisters. So my dad's out in California. I go see him, visit him, whatever. He does pretty well. He works for works for a golf course, gives golf lessons, gets into real estate, does a bunch of different stuff. Finally buys a like a home firewood. Did it for over 25 years. I drove his trucks many, I don't know, 100 times. For the record, not officially as a job. I was staying with him, and yeah, I mean, he would give me a little money, and it was the understanding that you're living here, son, and on my 5-acre beautiful spread in the canyon, I'm feeding you. You're in California. Your mother still has me on child support and has continued to ruin my life. Leslie hates you. You get along with Tammy. She loves you. You name her first child. I think that's really why Paul doesn't like me. Paul Savage, Cal State University accounting, flooring guy, freelance CIA now or something. I don't know. And so, Dad, what is it? So yeah, I mean, think about it, firewood and a pickup truck, beat up old pickup truck, because I mean, you're banging these things. I mean, these are not always the nicest. He had a few, but you're not spending a lot of money about what, you want that thing to run, and you got to go up into the mountains of, where was that? We'd have to go drive way, way up to get the oak firewood way up north into the mountains. There was only a few places you could really get oak firewood, and you usually had to pay for it. So the markup was huge. Where was that? I would go out into the groves and cut. I didn't do a lot of cutting, mostly picking up wood, bringing it to the yard, processing it, splitting it. I didn't even do that. Did a lot of splitting, made bundles. Oh my God. If I ever had to make another bundle again in my life with plastic and grease, no, thank you. I'll pass. So I would deliver these, the bundles you see outside the gas station. I would deliver those to out there at 7-Eleven, the different campgrounds, Camp Doheny, all the state parks. What was that one on Campland on the Bay? Went there 1,000 times. I don't even know if it's there anymore. Delivered. It was like if you knew you had a stack. Oh, because Dad ain't gonna pay you no more. Oh gosh, and you gotta rack it all back there. Like, it was all right if you could just pull up, dump, and go, right? But man, that was the worst. And then you gotta go out, and they don't tip you. Oh man, I did that on and off for 25 years, and we're talking driving thousands of pounds of wood around. Did I ever scratch anybody's car? Nope. Did I ever damage any? Nope. Did I ever get a flat? Nope. Did I ever hurt it? Nope. Run anybody? Nope. I always got the job done. Nobody got hurt. Yeah, it might have taken me extra time, but I would, San Diego, mostly around the San Diego area. Vista. I went to the boys club in Vista. I was like 1986 cup stacking champion of the country. I mean, I was like, do they do that at the boys? Man, I was like the Wyatt Earp of cup stacking. I mean, I was so good. There was only a couple that could beat me. That was the thing. I remember that, man. I used to have these cups, man. We used to do that. I spent hours at the boys. Go down there, get the footage. Normal little kid, little hyper. YMCA's everywhere. Camp Guy Robinson? Oh, yeah. I heard it through the grapevine. That's another one. Yeah, that one's a little. There was many years there, though. Whatever happened to the Jetsons twins? Jetson twins. You want to talk about a couple weird boys? I wasn't weird. The Jetsons, I don't know what their name. Started with a J. They lived down the block there on Robinson for a while. Huh? And you think I'm weird? Those guys, look, even I thought they were a little off. But they were cool. They seemed all right. They were nice. Went to camp with that. Now that there was a couple weird the twin. I don't know. There was something a little off about them two. I ain't sure. Okay. Not me. The Jetsons. Oh yeah. The Rum River. Oh man, I spent like 10, 15 years out at camp. First we start off down there behind Steffi's house, not Eisenschenk, Steph Wold. And then right behind Miranda Anderson's house, it's not there anymore. Camp Guy Robinson, we go during the day. And then they take us out there during the afternoon or something. I can't remember. Yeah, we go out there for the last couple hours and build forts and go on the Rum River. Yeah, I was a half a weirdo, huh? I was real. Go ask them how weird hyper. Yeah. But if you think I should have this going on, boy. Oh, Jeremy and Cal, y'all got something else coming, you hear? Look. Normal. Okay. One time at the pool up there, just kitty corner old Chen's house, or what is it, the Chinese shop. Now you got to remember. Now this was before there was Chinese food on every corner. This was back when it was like, hey, we got a Chinese place, we can get Chinese ones. And this was like my best friend Scott Chen. I guess he ended up going to prison for moving big weight. And he became really close to Brandon and Creasel and all them. And that's none of my business. But way before any of those guys were even friends, I was friends with him before he even thought about. Remember old Jim? Hendricks. Whatever happened to Hendricks? Way back, they had one other guy that they were way back before anybody was even a thought in their father's loins. You know, me and Chan and Hendricks, we were running around doing dirt bikes back behind Cheapskate, being half a weirdos, you know. Okay. Way back then before anybody even knew anybody. Okay. So I was friends with Chen way before anybody knew him. And then all of a sudden he became the kingpin when you still had to pay for pot. You know, it wasn't Venezuela where they give it to all you got to do is buy the Cheetos and the Mountain Dew. They give you the pop for free. Get your video game on the internet. Sit in mama's back. No, this was back when SWAT team, 25 guys in bulletproof vests with German shepherds. Yeah, I was friends with him before anybody. Okay. In fact, I was probably his first friend. Way back. Colonial Estates. Me and Wilson were friends with him before anybody. All right. Probably right when they got off the boat. I'm just kidding. No, him and his brother, I knew his brother too. Whatever happened to his brother? Him and his brother had an apartment finally. They had their own apartment. We'd go over and put to their parents got them their own. They had their own place, man. I always thought that was wild. He was in like grade school, and they're like, we got him an apartment, him and his brother, so they could have their own place. And I'm thinking, you know, I don't know what you do over in China, but usually you got to be about 18 to get an apartment around here, and they're like 12 and 15. I'm thinking, And so yeah, I was friends with him and not really his brother. His brother was a lot older. Uh, yeah, I was like one of his very, very first friends. Okay, pretty weird. I was such a half a weirdo, wasn't I? And so, yeah. And then what? See what else? Um. Oh, I played behind Colonial Estates. I played thousands of hours of soccer. Whatever happened to Baden? John Baden and his dad. Yeah. John Baden's dad was he always drove around the creepy old van smoking. Now I know what they were doing in there. Yeah, I finally figured out what he was doing in there. Smoking pot. No, he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. He was like one of the original hippies, man, of wherever. I don't know. He was a one of a kind, but he liked soccer and he was a good family dad. He was a family man. And John Baden, yeah, he was one of my. I guess John Baden would have been one of my very very first kind of, yeah, because we got into soccer, played many years with those guys. What about Kevin Pudanis? I played soccer with the Pudanis. I wasn't close with him, but he's sheriff. His dad was the sheriff. His one of the Pudanis is the police chief over in Blaine. Scotty Clark was best friends with one of them. Remember me and Scotty only guys? Old Detterman. Better have a tie on, boy. See, you wouldn't get away with it. Now, oh, I know what it. See, that's what I was gonna say. You wouldn't get it. Detterman wouldn't. I mean, they'd have if Detterman was around today. If you had a guy talking to students like old Detterman, they'd have him. I mean, he'd be fired. He'd be down. They'd have him down in HR. He'd be gone. I mean, so you got to remember when y'all was trying to change the world. See, some of us, we was raised under Detterman. Hey, boy, you're going to be riding that bench there if you ain't got a tie on, son. You better show up with a tie. Hey, I'm in that gym I mean, I was so scared of that guy. I'm like, hey, I'm here at 5 a.m., got my tie, I'm doing free throws. Me and Scotty Clark. He's friends with Pudani, sheriff of Anoka County, his dad or his grandpa, both of them. Okay. Pudani was a really good soccer player. I don't know, there's like four of them. I never really knew any of them. I played soccer on the soccer team there with him for a couple of years or something. Just never really said hi. Uh, seventh, eighth, ninth grade. Uh, I had some normal. I knew some normal people. Okay. Let's see what else. Yeah. So. Huh? Roger Plath? Come on, man. That guy. I sat in his desk. Man, did I screw that one up, huh? Arnie Carlson. I'm sitting next to the governor, and I'm not. I'm like, hey man, mate, maybe you ought to be a little more careful around this one. Nope, give me some more beer. Let's go. Uh so yeah, I mean, I did a lot of things for 5 minutes. you know, But it was all that coffee my mom drank, right? That's the reason. But give me a reason. I'm blaming it. I'm blaming it on the cat. You got to be more careful, girls, when with that fetus and stuff. All the doctors they'll tell you that. See, they didn't really know that back then. I mean, it was kind of common sense, but now, if you've seen a woman smoking, right? I mean, they might even arrest you. Like that is child abuse. Back then, and you remember, mommy, she had just graduated nursing school, so she's double fisted. That's daddy. I mean, she's all excited and she got the coffee going and firing up the cigarettes, and she's pregnant with me and daddy. Like I said, so if you ever wonder why I wet the bed until I was 45, yeah. So, God, was that embarrassing? That was the other thing. Yeah. I mean, we just got to tell it all, right? We'll just tell it all. What's the difference? I don't care. What do I care if people? I mean, it's my life. It's the way God made me. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And you know what? A woman would love you regardless of what's going on. She would love you for what It'd be like Jerry Maguire. You had me at Bible study, or something like that. You had me at hello. You had me at would you like to have a Bible study, sweetie? What do you say, honey? You look like one of them real special gals I've been waiting. I bought them Bibles there real special for you, sweetie. I was waiting to meet a gal like you so we can crack that plastic open together. And I'm gonna, what? While I'm waiting, hey, you think about it. I'm gonna go buy a special pack of them highlighters, get a real nice pink one for you. I'll be back. And then, hey, what do you say? Mm-hmm. You look like half the kingdom, honey. I don't know what Samson was thinking. Do y'all? Everybody's saying about 6, 7 times. Everybody, hey, Samson, she trying to cut your hair, man. What you doing? Samson's all, oh no, this is half the, oh no, half the kingdom. What you want? What you want to do? What you want to know? I tell you, everybody's like, Samson. Hey, boy, come here. That woman, hey, and she's smiling and she's just, oh, Samson, tell me some more, Samson. I'm about ready to cut your hair too. Samson, he got all his boys around there like, hey, what do we got to hit you with a baseball? Hey, look what you. Okay, so we can get a little funny around there. Yeah, it happens. And hopefully it happens before you do something really silly, I guess. And so, you know, oh, I got sidetracked there a little bit. So, what was I talking about? So, Daddy, Mommy, if you ever wonder why I was a little, ask my mom why she was chain smoking, drinking all that caffeine, got that fetus all hopped up. Hey, nowadays you'd be like playing. Say, if I get half the kingdom, we get a little bun in the oven. Say, it's gonna be an act of Congress and a miracle anyway. But it's gonna be, honey. There ain't no raising no boys. Nobody. No arguing. You don't be arguing around this here fetus. No. Everybody's gonna be quiet. We're gonna get like some Beethoven or something. Yeah, we're gonna be like reading to. I'm talking moment of conception. We're gonna be reading about. We're gonna be talking real calm. There ain't gonna be no coffee going. None of this here alcohol arguing. I just can't. Can you imagine the arguing? I'd like to be. I wish I would have been a fly on the wall. Record. Do you know the trauma my parents put me through in that Ham Lake house before they locked me in the closet, made me eat paint chips after feeding me caffeine and nicotine all day? And you wonder why I'm a little silly? Hello, yeah. Just kidding. So Look, yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine the screaming that went on. I mean, you come home, you gambled the money away, you drank it, and you slept with her. I mean, actually, Daddy, you're lucky she didn't kill you. No, you can't say that on live. No, I'm just playing. But I mean, these girls got a reason to be mad. Finally they're like, hey, it's gonna be called the feminist movement. Oh yeah, we're burning our brows. Should have never gave us keys to a car. Ah, no. Now we got cell phones and oh, y'all are done. The future is female. Yeah, and you wonder why old Eisenshank's at home. But bad boy ain't no housewife, house husband. Probably ain't a bad gig at this point if you can get it. I'm just joking around, man. So, pretty normal. Cup stacker champion of the year. Let's see where we at. Work for my dad. Oh, John Baden. I did. I'm serious. I always wonder what is that smoke coming out of old John Baden's van. I mean, I figured it out. He was an old hippie. So we played out all the soccer, years running around. Yeah. And that wasn't the only time. I'm serious. I don't even remember ever having a class with Barry Burgoyne. He was just jealous of me because I had all the girls. I mean, I would have if it wouldn't have been for old Wilson and me respecting him because I like to. I'd have had old Amber Ash too. Yeah, I'm telling you straight up. Hmm? Oh, back in the day, half the kingdom. Oh yeah, look, hey, I'm telling you. And then Barry Burgoyne jumped me again there, right outside of Food and Fuel. Same dude. He almost got me. Came out of nowhere. I was on my bike. Why does this guy got? I don't know where he got to be Mike Say or something. I guess Mike Say is married. He's related through Mike Say, who worked. I don't know. Mike is getting sick of seeing the spoiled little kid eating all the bacon, lettuce, tomatoes whenever he wants, and he's got to work 10 hours, and I'm going playing soccer, and he's getting his little nephew to beat me up or something. I don't know. Because I don't even know who this guy is. He comes out of nowhere. He weighs about 3 times as me. Oh, Wilson. Pop, pop, pop. I'm like, yeah, what's up now? And then, coming 5 years older, somebody should have just humbled that dude, eh? Look, so I lived a average, unsuccessful life. No, I am not the police chief. No, I am not any of this. But I grew up with them, and I was pretty normal back then, and I'd done a few things, and okay. And now here's where we're at with all this happening, and I'm just saying, okay, well that's all nice, Nick. What are you gonna do now? And I'm saying, yeah, I'm sick of writing papers about Apple, and I'm saying like, hey, so I'm at a crossroads, right? You're old, dude. We can't quite see all your gray hair yet, and you can kind of probably you're not a client or the president yet, but I mean you're getting there, man. I mean you're getting up there, boy, and it ain't getting any easier. But hey, I'm gonna keep trying to fight another day, right? I ain't gonna give up and let these punks on the internet think I'm gonna bend over and grab the ankles for them. No. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and obviously everybody wants, especially when you're in a hairy situation, you want to present yourself in the best possible light. But like I said, there are a few things to demonstrate my integrity and honesty that I will mention, just not yet. Towards the end, that you can talk about that weren't illegal, but were pretty stupid, and like pulling a fire alarm or something. But other than that, I just kind of I guess, I don't know. I think pretty average to below average kid that was lucky to have parents that were middle income, and we weren't rich, we weren't filth, we weren't dirt poor, and we always had enough to eat, especially with the restaurants. So my main goal was, how do I get some beer? How do I work enough to pay? Yeah, I gotta pay for. I gotta be able to pay for a place to live, and I need my beer. And I guess that most guys do it. I guess mine kind of extended for a while longer, you know. And then you pay for it. I guess you catch some of us. You catch a break, or you're better. Hey, maybe you're Ryan Faulkner. You get hooked up at the frat, so they catch some of the slack. They get you in somewhere, whatever. You know. Or you come from money and you're all right because you just keep working for the family business. Like, oh, what's his name up there? What's that guy's name? Up there in North Dakota from pre-trib guy. Pre-trib guy. Smoking the Marlboros, drinking the Budweiser. Your wife is the city administrator of Fargo. Talked years and years with that guy. He knows all the legislators, Paul Wellstone and all them, the guy that went down in the inventor of something. Pre-trib guys shows that video of him. I forget what's that band where he's just awestruck and he's like handing him his daughter. He's like, "Here, hold my daughter so I can take a picture with my daughter." And I don't know if it was one of those Christian bands. Pre-trib guy. Now he's called, what's his new nick? Just Another Christian on ChristianChat.com. I only saw him a couple times, which that's another really bizarre story that I don't care. I want to talk. I was back on Christian Chat, and I wasn't bothering nobody. I mean, might have been talking, but they were talking to me. That's what you do on chat. You talk. Okay, but I wasn't being a weirdo, not even a half a weirdo, nothing. Not even not bothering no girls. Nothing, zero. Wasn't even, there was only a couple. I was there for like a year. Now I was there on and off since I don't know when. And all of a sudden they banned me for like out of nowhere. Only thing I can think of is it goes back to RoboUp. He's running a business, It's political. So you got your undercovers, and so you got people getting annoyed listening in, and they're frustrated because they don't like you, so they want you to say something they can ban you, but you ain't doing it. So they're getting even more frustrated. But then all they got to do is tell one of their friends to say something to RoboUp, like, "I'm not going to donate if you don't get rid of this guy." Because you're talking. Who knows who you're talking? If you're talking to Superman, or if you're talking to the linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys. This is your premier destination of Christian. One of the only few, the original, right? you got some like high profile people, and so it's easy to rub people the wrong way, and all they got to do is it's always about the money. Remember, nobody does anything. Remember that, kids. I didn't figure that out till I was 44, so 40 some years old. No matter, I don't care if it's your parents, anybody. Everybody's doing something for a reason, and nobody's doing it for free. There is no free lunch, kids, no matter what they tell you. You're doing something. If you're offering me $500 to come to Hollywood and move wire around the set of NCIS with Brad Pitt, I'm saying, hey, what are you going to ask me to do next? So everybody's got a motive, and I mean, I don't know. Every once in a while, you might get the old preacher woman, because the only thing she ever did is backmouth her mama one time or something. Her daddy's a preacher. All her uncles are preachers, and her mommy's she might have like stole a pack of. I don't even think she did. She's a nun, and she might be driving and be like, all of a sudden she sees a homeless guy, and she might be like, but she's doing it for a reason, because the Holy Ghost came upon her and it urged her, and it got in her spirit. She couldn't handle it, and she's like, "Oh, I know we're late for dinner, but turn this bus around. I gotta go talk to that guy." Hey, oh, and by the way, hey, I just want you to know, Jesus loves. And you know what? This is my Bible. I don't have any money on me right now, and I'm not gonna give you my credit card, but God just God told me to come back here. I'm late. I got this appointment I'm supposed to be at. But I don't care. I felt it in my spirit. I gotta go back and talk to that guy, homeless guy. And now he's telling me I got this really special Bible. I've been using it for a while. And God's telling me to give it to you. And the homeless guy looks at me. Are you sure? Are you serious? You really want to give me your Bible? She's like, yep. God told me to. So you might get some situations like that. But other than that, and even then, everybody is doing something for a reason. And I didn't realize that. Ultimately, when you're young, you might, but when push come to shove and it really get down to it, the Bible says we're fighting principalities in high places, and there's other things going on above all of our pay grades that I don't even want to know. I don't think I even want to know. I just don't want. I want to keep all my 10 fingers and my 10 toes. Just want to get half the kingdom. I don't even like duck hunting. Trust me, I don't want. I'd rather go fishing. If old big country won't really, really, really want me to go, I'll go. But let's make it quick, because I want to get back to half the kingdom. All right? We're going fishing. Everybody's doing something for a reason. So I guess it's naive. It goes back to, look, I get 5 different stories from everybody, and they all seem to know the story, but I don't. I don't know if they tried to protect me because I was caught. I was the first grandchild on both sides, and so that's going to present a problem in itself, because you're going to get a little more attention. So you're naturally now. But as far as getting people pissed off to have Barry Burgoyne just attack me twice for I don't even know the guy. Never even talked to him anywhere. Never had a class. He lived somewhere around Colonial Estates, and he decided he didn't like me. But his uncle works for my mom. Look, I'm not in the CIA. I'm not a CIA analyst, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express a couple times. And so why stuff like that happens, everybody's doing something for a reason, and I'm not sure exactly why, and I don't really care. Today, I just want people to know I'm only half a weirdo. I'm still looking. It's going to be tough. So, I mean, I'm really, at this point, I'm just not even comfortable because you have to know. I'm not the kind of guy that wants an algorithm to decide who my wife should be, or some government agency to or get hooked up by Cupid. I'm your guy that randomly shows up at the produce section in the organic or I got a laundry machine, but hey, I might just decide to go up and now I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to come up with some new original stuff. Because I'm a hopeless romantic. You know, I want things to be random. Well, so that was never my goal, I promise. And again, who knows? Maybe only my day. And that's fine. That really is fine. Because I know the truth. And the truth will set me free. And this is the truth about my life. And the truth about what I did and what has happened. And the danger that obviously somebody on the internet finally got into a position of power or authority and or decided they could cover it up because I was a half a weirdo or something. And they thought I would do something and put myself in a compromising position and they wouldn't get my attention because this was nothing about scaring me straight because I was already straight. So we just want them to call the dogs off. Polar bears and look, I've seen polar bears. We got some down at the zoo. They put them in really big cages. Usually Sasquatch is out in the woods and he usually stays there. I've known a few people in my life, and you know, I got plenty of other things to do. And the last thing I wanted to do was get up in front of here of any of my friends and admit that I really didn't do a whole lot with my life. And I'm kind of, yeah, I got a little place to live. And, you know, hey, I'm not in the inner city. And yeah, maybe I can make a little go if I could find a small little family Christian company and work, you know, do a little, you know, accounts receivable for a while. If I and they're all thinking, Nick, how do you after that? How now you went and did that? How do you expect us to find somebody that'll sit next to you for 8 hours and then you want them to answer your questions? So, yeah, I mean, but one day at a time. And I'm saying, well, I don't drink, smoke, or chew. Don't go with women that do anymore. I don't mind if you do, but I don't want anything to do with that. It caused me a lot of problems, and I feel like life is secure. I wasted enough time doing that crap. So, I mean, I don't care if the coolest guys are the coolest guys were like, hey, Nick, man, you want to hang out with us, bro? We're going to have a beer, man. Come on over. No, I just don't, dude. Like, I can't. I don't want to, you know? Y'all can do it. Just, I only want half the kingdom. Go fishing, you know? Up on Balsam Lake where the water, you can drink the, ooh. Old Freddie up there probably they're biting so good right now. He probably crapping his pants. He giving old Dudley down there at New Hope a run for his money. They both probably crapping their pants catching crappies. If you ain't crapped your pants once in your life, you don't know what too much fun is. So hey, try it. It'll be you don't have to, but don't feel bad if you do once. You'll be all right. Um, yeah. You know, um, I don't know. You know, the other thing I think they're after. So, number one, they hate Christians and Jewish people. They hate guns. They hate them. You know, what did they do in Nazi Germany? They removed all the firearms. All the while, all the people in power live in gated communities and they all have AR-15s. And if you mess with them, you're going to have a bad day. But they want your guns. Yeah. What did they do in Minnesota here? Can you? I mean, I know we're a Democrat farmer labor party, and I know they're pretty they're pretty left wing Democrat. But what did they do? You can buy a the 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 police chief is only allowed to release one per month. Not that you would really need, unless you're a collector or something. But what if you live on a compound in Brainerd and you got a big family and you want to buy more than one gun per month? I don't know. I guess that used to be all right. And now you've got enough people that say that's not okay, whether that's, I don't know what it is. Not that it's not that, yeah, okay, most people probably don't have the money and you probably don't need to buy one more than that. But the fact that you're going to restrict it or make a law is the problem. Like, it's weird. So, yeah, again, no, you need some more of me being normal. Go up to the Metro Gun Club in Blaine, Minnesota. Been going there for the last few years, shooting trap. Never hurt anybody, never got in an argument, sat around, talked to people. Completely normal. St. Paul Gun Club, same thing. So if anybody tries to say, "Oh, he might be dangerous," well, we couldn't get him drunk, couldn't get him naked, couldn't get him angry, couldn't get him to cuss us. What do we got left? He's nuts. No. Yeah, they got to have some video of me at one of those two places. You know, shooting a trap, the skeet. Never shot anybody, never hurt anybody, never thought about it. Shot with lots of guys. So how you get a guy like me? Hey, oh, Alexandria, Ontario, Cortez, yes. Yes, darling. Yes, honey. I agree. Some of the stuff you're talking about that again. Yes, have the kingdom. Oh yeah. Right. We need to try to help some people, but you can't go. You can't be going and melting down every guns. There are too many of them that like to go hunting yet, and they. Oh, and by the way, if you get somebody to come in your house and they don't have the castle doctrine in Minnesota. So basically, essentially, we joke around here. You pretty much have to basically invite an intruder in, and hopefully that's only one, and hopefully he's not tweaked out on methamphetamine, or hopefully there's not some stranger pointing a gun at you from your front door into your thing, and you have to fire a warning shot because he's threatening to kill you, and you know who he is, but you can't tell anybody because you don't know what's going. Hopefully none of that, like, really crazy. Hopefully it's just, hey, excuse, I know you came in to rob me. Would you like to come in? And I've got some food in the fridge. My wife and children are up. Go ahead, tie them up. My gun it's locked up in the base. I'm gonna go down, and then I'm gonna go get that while you just make yourself comfortable. Come on in. And by the way, please do not turn your back, because if I accidentally shoot you, I'm gonna go to prison. I'm gonna go lock my. By the way, get something to eat. I'm gonna go. First of all, I'm gonna go downstairs and figure out where it is, and it's locked up, and it can only have 6 rounds. And then I'm gonna go lock myself in the bathroom. Okay, you do what you need to do. I don't know where my phone is, so I'm just gonna start praying to God. All right, now I've been told by Amy Klobuchar and all them, if you now I'm in the bathroom, you do what you want. I can't touch you. I can't shoot you in your back. And I either need to jump out my window or go into my bathroom. And if you decide to come in that, now I've been told if you do, not if you try to come in the bathroom while I'm hiding in there, I get to shoot you and defend myself. I mean, that's pretty much what we're down to. Seriously. So, yeah. It's greasing the wheels. Yeah, see, that's why we can never agree. I'm going hunting and fishing. All right. I went up to Walmart during the thing. There was no food up there. None. The shelves were bare. It's pretty much other than Target. You might need to go out someday and get a deer. I'm just saying, you may. And so you're going to probably want to keep a deer rifle or something. You just might want to in case you get hungry. There might come a time, but that's not what they'll tell you because they're plenty safe. Remember, they've got armed guards and Secret Service. They're fine. It's you, the law-abiding gun owner, is the problem. Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, go up there, go pull the video. I mean, there's thousands of hours of me shooting up at those hundreds of hours of me shooting up at those places. So that one ain't gonna work. But all the weird stuff, my old buddy Don Lemon. Oh, the gay thing. I should touch on that. Yeah. I actually think Don Lemon's pretty. I mean, he's. If you didn't know, like, if you weren't like super Christian and you had no idea he was homosexual. I mean, he's got a nice personality. He's popular, right? He seems like a fun, nice. Brooke Baldwin loves him, right? They're like best friends. So it's not so much that it's basically, and it's only in the last few years. And it's not that I told you I'm a professional, right? I never had any gay friends that I know of. I mean, remember I grew up just because I grew up in a time when people were still in the closet doesn't mean that you get to change how I was raised. Sure, you as a society get to say, you know what? This is a constitutional republic. It's a democracy, and majority, and we've changed the rules. Okay, I didn't vote for gay marriage in Minnesota. Now, how many people are going to hate my guts? I don't have a problem professionally. I don't have a problem sitting next to a gay person. In fact, remember how I said I like naked ladies? I guess I found out in the past I don't really care if they like each other or if they like to, if they're, I like naked ladies, but I've never really been interested in guys. Just not my thing. Never been my cross to bear. But when I grew up, I didn't know any. And you didn't talk about it. If you did, you were gonna, and maybe it's good because we don't want Matthew Shepard. We don't want to be like out in Montana, do we? We don't want to be those kind of people, right? We're Yankees from Minnesota, right? We don't hurt people, and we're civilized, and we're we went through things like Christians in the past justifying slavery and dragging people over. Look, I saw Roots. I saw what they did, and I seen how they treated people and justified it with the Bible. That's not what they were talking about. If obviously, in fact, that's the way was it portrayed exactly. But No, so I get it. Like, no, we're not trying to hurt people, but to expect me to go against my value system and the way I was raised and my moral system and my Christian beliefs, all because I might not get any soup, or all because the only lawyer left for I have no idea why. If he watched this, why there'd only be one Democratic lawyer that would help me? Because again, I am as well balanced as you can get. Seriously, I'm not a homophobe. I went to the gay 90s mostly because Rachel Lazarus, Half the Kingdom. Oh yeah, I was trying to kiss her. Yeah, okay. Her dad owned some kind of her mom. They over in Golden Valley. They own the big Lazarus something nursery or something. I don't know. She was my friend. Never did. Oh God, I was so scared. See, I was such an innocent boy. I mean, she liked me. She would have kissed me, but I never got the gumption up to kiss her. You know, I was in her house and her mom eating dinner. I mean, like 20 times, and I was so scared. Right? She's so pretty. Like I was an innocent boy, a kid. I didn't hurt nobody. To this day, I don't even hurt a fly. In fact, except for that Terminator spider. If I'd have caught that thing, man, I'd have taken a baseball bat to that nickel. But most of even spiders, any kind of insects, because I believe it's all part of the ecosystem. I learned, I did pick up on a couple things in science class, and somehow, this whole global warming. I mean, hey, it's 50 below. If a guy just south of Canada tells you it's cold, it's cold. I don't know what's going on with the global warming, but it ain't happening here, and it is cold. All right. So as far as all that goes, hey, but if there's a spider or something, I'll trap it in a jar and I will let it outside because there's some animal that needs to eat that and keep the ecosystem going, right? Unless you're trying to give me a wooden nickel, then all bets are off. All right. But you see what I mean? So it's like coffee. Um, how did I get on that? So I'm not. Look, I watch CNN. Remember back with that's all we used to watch. And it's strange because now looking back, I realize how many of my friends were actually really, 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 really liberal, anti-gunners, liberal, right? But I didn't think of it back then, and so I guess it truly is nature. Nature eventually takes over nurture. I mean, you can be raised by five women. They can try to dress you up and call you Nikki, put makeup on you, but eventually you're going to be just like your daddy. Except, oh, I don't want to talk about Carrie Patey's or anybody. I mean, they're not mine. I don't get to talk. What? I don't care. I want my half the kingdom. I mean, I don't want to sit around doing. Y'all want to do locker talk? My mama, I guess there's some benefits of that again. All right. How many guys do you know that will go to the Minnesota State Fair in front of 10 million people? And my mama, she'll post me right up. Oh, gosh, she'll make sure everybody, and she'll make me rub her back for like an hour in front of the whole state. So if you think I'm a bad guy, you want to talk about embarrassing. I mean, you can't say no to mama. She ain't your, but she have, hey, all right. As far as I had, and I probably had, looking back, I suppose I had a gay friend or two acquaintance, maybe kind of, sort of, someplace, I don't know. Didn't really talk about it. Maybe thought, but I'm not afraid to work with them professionally. We're in a room. Hey, in the government, you know, it's legal. I respect the law. It wouldn't be my choice, but again, I don't necessarily think we're here to legislate as Christians, unless I don't know, if you go out to like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, they'll tell you different. It used to be that way, right? We just used to be more, there used to be more Christians, so they had more influence on the laws, and now it's tipped, right? So just don't try to force me to think like you any more than I can't force you. And so then when you get mad, in other words, yeah, again, don't demand tolerance when you're not willing to offer any back. If you want me to be kosher and respectful, then don't demand or try to destroy me or defame me or character assassinate me just because I have a Bible that says homosexuality is still sin, like it was 6,000 years ago. It has nothing to do with me liking naked lesbians. It has to do with that's what the Bible says. It doesn't change no matter what we do, no matter how we try to translate it. No, it's in the Old Testament and the New. Why does everybody have such, I don't know, other than the Roman Empire, and they're sick of listening to it, and they want to operate with impunity, and they don't want to be reminded of their sin? I don't know why they'd get so angry. Got no problem telling me I like naked ladies. I got no problem working professionally. No, I don't. I'd prefer. Yes, it's true. I mean, does that make me a bad? I would prefer to have a close personal friend that believes this, that believes homosexuality, believes everything, including lying and everything. And I'd rather be in a foxhole with a guy that this than a guy that doesn't believe this at all and says, "Oh well, I don't want to hear that anymore. It's not a sin." Okay. So if you can't respect that, then we can get nowhere. And this is basically what I've been trying to say, but I've been getting nothing but a red dot for 10 years, even by Christians, and I really can't say it any more respectfully. I just can't. And so if that means it's the end and it's over and I've got people wanting to murder me, well, then I guess we're in the end times and we're at the end of the line. But again, we are commanded, and you got my attention. So if you think I'm going to, and they say, "Oh, you're so obsessed. You're so obsessed, Nick. Do you ever talk about?" Yes, I do. But anytime I even mention it, you accuse me of being obsessed. You accuse me of only focusing on that. It's another lie. It's just that you won't allow anybody to talk about it. And when we do, you'll do everything to get us to silence us. You don't offer the same thing you demand, tolerance. Yeah, some of us are frustrated. Some of us don't have a big, prolific job where we're worried about losing a six-figure income. So, hey, I don't have a whole lot to lose. So I'm willing to still talk about it. And there's a few that will. But I don't hate anybody. Hate is a bad, not only in society, it's just a zero top. God says if you hate your brother, you've committed murder in your heart. I wouldn't use that word ever. I just wouldn't take the chance. If you're feeling that much, that you can't say anything worse. I don't like mushrooms. They make me sick, puke. I'm allergic to them. Legitimately. I think what happened, I got locked in. I was eating paint chips, and my mom was tired. And one night she couldn't cook it, and she just opened up a can of mushrooms and put them in there. And I was so hungry, I ate them and puked my brains out. And I've never been able to eat them since. Literally, they make me vomit. I'm joking, but I don't know why. Same thing, peaches. And now pork, for some reason, gives me like highs and makes my throat swell up. Okay. So there's a few things. But as far as being paranoid or look, I understand like things change, but I'm from America. Remember, I was here before most of y'all. My grandfather, remember, he fought in World War II, freed the Jews. Yeah, he was part of that. Remember when it was okay to be in the military? Oh, Minneapolis, how's that disbanding the police? Sure, Alexander Aorka. Yes, let's meet in the middle. Instead of having one person go, nope, no cops. And then you got, sure, there's problems. Let's do, but why all this extreme? You remember? Yeah, you remember when you pledge allegiance? You don't remember, but that doesn't mean it. You get to take that away from me. It just means that some of us are the last of the Mohicans. Yeah, we're old, but we're wise in a lot of ways. We came before you, and just because you're changing everything up and you got the numbers, we're basically outnumbered. Doesn't mean we're going to bend over and grab the ankles for you or jump in that 6-foot hole. Hey, we're trying to get along. Come on in. Let's have a hey, we understand. We're aliens in a foreign land just passing through. I ain't here to live. I got enough to do. I'm just trying to get half the kingdom to go fishing. I don't want to waste much time worrying about your sex life because I can't do anything about it. Hey, now if I'm up in Coeur d'Alene, maybe I'll get. Hey, but I understand that ship sailed, but it wasn't my upbringing. I don't agree with it. I know there's a whole lot of smart people sending rockets to the moon, never done a drug in their life, never stole, were perfect little boys. And the only thing is they happen to like other guys. Real successful, real doing all the trigger, all the math, sure. I don't know, it's kind of like the Catholics, they say, well then it's kind of like a guy like, I've said this too. Maybe a guy likes to drink, maybe he likes naked ladies. Maybe he's married, but he's got a problem. He likes to keep looking at these other naked ladies. Just don't do it, man. Just be celibate. Or whatever. That used to be the Catholic approach. Remember? St. Stephen's Church, Anoka, Minnesota. Yeah. Everything has changed, but some of us are still here, and our lives still matter. And just because we accidentally like naked ladies once in a while doesn't mean you get to assassinate us. And we're trying to realize that, we understand the Bible says that these things are going to wax worse. They will. They will go in a direction that is not what's in here. And it says even the elect can be deceived. So even guys like me, who for all other intents and purposes still happen to like naked ladies and could get enticed by a naked lady like Samson did. Or Bathsheba. I mean, King David, the greatest king of all time of Israel. He put, what's his name, on the front line so he could get a naked lady. Well, God did end up forgiving him because he looked at his heart. So if that's really the worst thing that I do is I ain't found half the kingdom, and every once in a while I get a little lonely thinking about a naked lady, I think I'm gonna be all right. So I'm not a homophobe. I'm not see, and nowadays the way I know what they're gonna say because I've been hearing it. This misogynistic pig, DKS, is like, oh my God, we only have 10 or 20 more years of this. I'm going to be old, but God, thank God my children are not going to have to put up with these toxic masculine men. And I'm thinking,
They dressed me up as a girl and put makeup and put me in a dress and called me Nikki. And you think I have toxic masculinity? I'm not a homophobe. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't hate anybody. Certainly not gay people. Jesus said, I say, come on down the way you are. See, that's the other thing. When you're around a bunch of Christians and pastors' kids and they're raised so perfect, I think sometimes they might forget that, remember Jesus, he said the prostitute and the leper and the sickos would see the kingdom of God before most, because it was a heart condition. And I think we forget that the Bible says that Jesus came for the sick, the half weirdos, not the perfect ones who happen to be so lucky that they got raised in a really good family. And the worst thing they really got to deal with is maybe a bad attitude or maybe a little back lip to mama, or maybe, deciding, now I know I'm exaggerating, everybody goes through problems. But when you think about it, don't forget, Jesus, he said, the healthy don't need a physician. That's what he died for. That's what he went to the cross at Calvary and shed his blood and was raised the third day, right? All because Sam Colt, was it? God made man and Sam Colt made him even. No, God made man and Jesus made them all even. It don't matter if you're the seventh beggar, sending a rocket to the moon. It don't matter if you're half a weirdo. It don't matter who you are. I always want to be. Oh, you're so cute, Nick. Oh, can I come sweep in your bed? I don't know. I got 15 of them. Can you take a number? Oh, you're so cute, Nikki. What? I don't know. I can't. You girls won't leave me alone. I can't even do I can't even do my homework. How do you expect me to learn anything? You girls won't stop touching me. Oh, I just want to sweep. I always wanted to be that guy. I never did figure it out. Hey, look. So I don't have a problem, but you might understand being a Christian. We're trying, we're practicing. We're not perfect, but at least we have to agree on the guidelines and the rules. It's kind of like a UFC fight. You got to weigh in. You got to meet we got to make sure you can't be Barry Bergoin. You can't outweigh the guy by 150 pounds in the seventh grade. I'm like 40 pounds soaking wet, and you're like 180 pounds. You got bacon grease coming out the side of your ears. You can't do that. We have to agree. Yeah, I'm still kind of mad about that one. He busted up my nose. I used to have a straight nose, like he purposely went out. I used to be about as darn near as good looking as old Buck. I really was. Until they busted up my nose there. And now as you get older, I got a few Pinocchios, and then you get that old Swedish honker gone. As you get older, how your feet get smaller and I used to have a really straight, nice looking nose. But we got to agree. All right? We got to at least agree. If we start changing the rules, we ain't never gonna agree. That's fine. You can make the argument like they did, like old Cancel used to do on IRC. Hey, that don't even apply. He was talking to the Hebrews. Man, I don't know. We all kind of come from the same. I'm thinking this is pretty much for everybody. You decide if you want to do it, but there's no exemption. I mean, if God wants every man to be saved and all, he means this for everybody, not just certain. But let's agree. You know what I mean? If we can't at least agree that homosexuality and sodomy is sin, remember that? Exit only. Now, I'm not saying you don't struggle. That's fine. Hey, come on down to the church the way you are. Let's get everybody. Hey, But as far as me hanging out after work, no, I'm going with half the kingdom, and I got one guy that we have a little Bible study. We're going fishing. I ain't gonna pretend like what you're doing ain't sin. Just don't ask me to do that. Does that mean I'm perfect? No. Expect me not to look at naked ladies. I'm gonna try. You try not to do that, because that's what's in the. Just like it's still not okay. It's funny. The homosexuals that even get married, they agree to infidelity. So basically, what they're trying to tell us is, for some reason, somehow, all this here, rest of this here makes sense. And by the way, you wouldn't even have a New Testament if it weren't for Paul. I don't know how, I mean, did you realize that? He wrote 90%. That's it. You're done. We're back to the old. You get rid of Paul. There ain't no good news. All right. So if we can't trust his disciples, you've got to at least agree. Okay, fine. We live in a revived Roman Empire. There's no law saying you can do what you want. But don't try to change me. Don't try to get me because you don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm asking. That's what I've been trying to say. And if people can't be honest and be real and say that's reasonable, as long as he's not flagrantly attempting to hurt somebody, their feelings, purposely attack. Now, you don't get to say, oh, you're upset. No, I can talk about it as much as I feel like it whenever the Holy Spirit, hey, if it weren't for that time, is there any altar boys out there? My daddy says there was one time that the priest made him drink some wine. I don't know what that was about, but look, if you're trying to get me, I'm still trying to ask Daddy what he's talking about. Look, you see what I'm saying? Like, if we remove that, if we start cherry picking and we take out that, or we get them to the point where we refuse to even talk about it, or are we going to allow them to create a hate crime? Okay, well, now we're getting into, hey, it's one thing to say the authorities are put here by God and we follow as Christians. We're just kind of here. We're trying to go up there and we got to go through here to get there. And apparently they taught me on ChristianChat.com on Robo Up and all them, Corey and, old pre-trib guy and Dutch. They basically said, look, we need to obey no matter what laws they change. The Bible says we obey unless it goes against our Christian, like if they tell you to rob a bank, or you don't, just because they tell you to get out of Dodge, if you ain't done nothing, it's Dusty that's got to get out of Dodge, not me. Look, hey, but when you start saying, hey, you can't say this or that, that's permission to say no. Now, if you want us to sit back and go, hey, we can't, we got to bake, you're in business. They say it don't matter who, you got to bake the cake. No matter what you got to marry them. I mean, I don't know. We're getting into why they keep forcing it on us? I mean, there's so many hundreds of millions of places you could get a cake baked. Why you won't respect the religious freedom, the religious convictions of somebody that has a bakery that says, look, you come in, I'd prefer, it's just not, it's something against why are you forcing them? Why are you creating lawsuits to further, why can't you just be respectful and go find somebody that'll bake a cake? Now, I know it gets kind of hairy there because, and we've already seen what they say, the Supreme Court and all that, but as far as trying to change the word and prevent us from speaking the word of God, we can't do that, because then if we're going to start taking that out, what else are we going to take out? And I always found it interesting. That seems to be about the only one as human beings, really. we all intrinsically, right, agree on just about every other sin. Even the gays think, hey, you shouldn't be cheating on me. We got married, right? You probably shouldn't be stealing from Target, right? Lying is bad. It's I find that it's so unique that somehow God was so smart enough to preserve a Bible that somehow he got this part wrong, and society, it's society's duty to change that. And not only that, but force it on old Mohicans like me that say, hey, look, I was here, my grandfather fought in World War II. I would have went in the military if it would have been the right timing, right? I didn't grow up with this. This is my Bible. I believe in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's still a sin. And honestly, that's as polite and not non-rude as I can almost put it. I've been trying to say this on Pal Talk and get nothing but a red dot and saying, you're unfit for society. You think like that. No, this is the way I was raised. And we've got a society that says, well, that's why we need to get rid of you. One more generation or two and we won't have to deal with you. Yeah, well, I was sitting in old Gordy's lap making bird houses. Okay, going up and talking to Grandma Road, bringing old Lee. And you trying to, and all the stuff I did all my life, and I don't get to have this Bible, and you're going to want to do all. And now you're talking about doing something with this here? Nah. I mean, you ain't going to fool me, and you got my attention. So, I mean, that's in a nutshell, right? Pretty basic, but you'd think you've been getting red dotted for that. Oh, I've been so frustrated. I mean, you know how many headaches and how many Tylenol I had to take? And all I ever wanted to do was say that. But it's here. They can't force a chip on you in your right hand or forward. They just can't, because you have to choose it. You have to accept it so God can, there's a distinguish. If you trick me and force me, I got the ultimate defense. I got the dream team. I mean, the devil can't convict me of nothing. But if I say, hey, go ahead, put that in here. I need to go up to Walmart and get my rations. And, God's going to say, well, hey, I told you not, no, right hand, forehead, no. You can't do it. And you said, go ahead, I'd rather get a loaf of bread, $50 bills. Okay. I know a little bit. I know enough about that Bible. You ain't going to fool me. And what I've been through, I mean, as far as I can tell, I mean, there's only so much you can chalk up to coincidence. There's only so much you can say above the law. There's only so much you can say you deserve it. There's only so much you can say, oh, you got a couple outliers. You're a half a weirdo. And you know what? You probably deserve them to what they're doing to you. There's only so much before you go, no, we're in the end times. The persecution has begun in America. And I'm going to do, I mean, I didn't think these times were coming. So I'm going to do my best to be harmless as a dove and wise as a serpent, I guess is what, does it say that? All right. I'm going to try to defend myself. I'm going to try to choose life and not death. I'm going to try to survive. And I'm going to be very thankful that God got my attention before it was too late, before I looked at too many naked ladies. Yep. So I'm not afraid of no. I mean, hey, how you'd get a gay? How would they? Because they discriminate against me anyways. But if I do run into one, I don't have any problem working, sitting, talking. Now, most of what I talk about is either the Bible or accounting or going fishing or, hey, you seen half the kingdom, or watching the news or reading something. So I've really narrowed down, being that cross between a hybrid and a snail. I really got to get focused on what I spend my time on. So, I mean, don't take it personal. I only got so much time to go around. It ain't really got nothing to do with you. I got enough to worry about. I'm trying to just live my life. I want to end up on the porch with half the kingdom, not. Hello? Hold on. That's a big one because, that could be construed as, well, not only is that guy half a weirdo, but he hates gays. He's one of those extremist Christians that carries around a Bible. He actually prays to God. We ain't worried about them down there trying to cast spells on old Donald Trump. Nah, we ain't. That's all fake. But since this guy carries around that thing called the Bible and still thinks what it says is sin, we got to watch that guy. We better keep a real close eye. And then now he like to go hunting too. Oh, we got to get Miss Universe on this one. Yeah, no. Nah, coffee. Hello. Hi. How are you? What did you go do? So again, I'm not trying. All I'm trying to do is vindicate myself and clarify. And I am a little nervous that I'm going to end up creating more enemies, obviously. But like I said, I really think if people aren't really if we're not talking about, because I don't think you can talk these people that are burning the buildings down and stuff that we've seen. I don't think there's a whole lot of talking you can do to them. I really don't think, especially for a guy. I don't know what you're going to say to them. I mean that one there. I don't know what you're gonna. But as far as I just had to. I had to kind of tell my story and tell how I see the world, what's going on in current events, and I guess whatever. We'll let the chips fall where they may. We'll just let it go. And yeah. But that's a big one because I always get accused of, well, and they seem to have this. It's almost like a script. They got these people on the internet, and the other thing is we actually used to have some conservative Christian, and I don't mean conservative in the sense of longshoreman, hang 'em high, Ted Cruz, which it is. It's such a conundrum. It's so frustrating that you have a lifestyle that it just doesn't fit the mold of any one person, and no, you can't get no like you're. So I get in some. I get in some trouble, right? Driving. And so finally, I need an attorney. And it's, especially nowadays, my experience is if you don't know them, they're not connected to your family somehow through a friend, it's a crapshoot. Yeah, they give you the old hokey doke, give me my retainer. They'll answer a few questions, and they're basically all the same. And then with technology, it's everybody pretty much knows who everybody is, right? I mean, anybody that's anybody that wants to know it's not that tough. So they get offended so easy. But I mean, if people are misinformed, I mean, that's the worst. It's dangerous. Or if it's completely exaggerated to the point, I don't know. I mean, the devil is real. It says he comes to absolutely kill and destroy. He's like a roaring lion, seeking whom he shall devour. And I'm thinking, all this stuff. I go to a little bit of a Lutheran church. I'm kind of bored. Oh, yeah, I can't remember their names. Bruce was her dad. Oh, remember that one? Oh, man, did I screw that one up? Huh? What was her name? Oh, I can, if I think of it. Oh, at the old Olive Branch Faith. Every Wednesday, oh, God, her mom kept trying to get me to sit still. I still got a Bible they gave me. Gosh, how many times she's like, you don't need, hey, I got my daughter here, what? And she's like about perfect, triple, half the kingdom, eh? I know you're a little crazy, but you keep going down to that Burger King every Wednesday instead of sitting here and watch. Hey, you see my daughter? Oh, man, she was so nice to me. I can't remember. What's her name? Oh, yeah, she was that gal with the braces and the trombone carrying around a. Man, was I stupid. Yeah, I should have been hanging out with them girls. If I had any brains. What was her name? I'll think of it. I remember Bruce was the dad. Yeah, I haven't thought about that for a while. There was 2 or 3 of them, right? You're like, yeah, I think I'll go down and get me some French fries. Yeah. You might want half the kingdom later on, a couple 10, 30 feet, you do it for you. You might want to stay here, son. Oh gosh, she tried everything, didn't she? Yeah. So why did I just say that? So you go to Lutheran church, you go to Catholic church a few times a day. Yeah, good Catholic parents. You go, oh, remember? Mama, she never forgave herself when she let me go stay at the Bonnells. Old Teresa, old Ron Bonnell, pocket protector, old Bill Gates. Oh, and they were I came home talking in tongues, and that was, my mama said, it's all over. That's all done. I have failed as a mother. I cannot believe I did that. How did I let you go there? To Rehoboth Church. Tom Rogan down there in North Minneapolis got dunked in the water. Yeah. I got saved in a tub of water that was probably sitting there for about 10 years, and about 500 Black African Americans got dipped in it too. And I'm like, dunk, man, I want to go to heaven. I want to get saved. I was like 18, 19. Yeah, get me in that water. Front of the church. You ought to be able to find somebody that can testify to that. Might be some video too. Kind of off and on. I still like to drink my beer, and I got a naked lady here and there. Yeah. And then you're like, hey, I'm getting older. You're not obsessing about girls. You get a naked one every once in a while. Never did get one knock on my door, except for the J-Dub, Jehovah's Witness. Daddy still says, hey, if every 10, 20 years you get one knock on your door. And I'm still waiting. She better have a salad. Yeah. Hey, coffee. So you say, hey, well, wait, you're doing a whole lot of talking again, boy. And now when you're back at the honky tonk. So yeah. What do we do? Well, like old preacher woman's taught, I learned a thing or two from a preacher woman. Say I wasn't really into preacher women being from the old school, they really had to work on that one. Say, get me to, deal with a preacher woman. It's kind of, the truth is, see, back in the day, I used to, one of my, you remember that, what was her name? Joyce Myers. Can you picture this? Not only did I like the guys most with pocket protectors, I always wanted to be Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds. And I always had the secret crushes on them, on the nerdy girls with the braces carrying the clarinet or the musical instrument. Oh yeah. And so oh man, that's another 3-hour block. I need some coffee. To a guy that's, what did I say, that had a few girlfriends. If nothing else, you're going to see the consistency, even if you did have to listen to it over and over. Some parts, you're going to know that what I say is true. That I'm like never lying, ever. I don't make stuff up to make myself look good, right? Oh, preacher woman. So not only did I like that, but one of my favorite things to do, I know I was a loser because I used to smoke the one hitters once in a while, eat the Cheetos, drink the Mountain Dew, and play, never Mama's basement, but play video game. I used to like to sit and watch Joyce Myers. I admit it. I mean, she was one of the originals. I would sit all night. I would get my one hitter going, little Mountain Dew, and I'd be sitting there looking out the window, and I'd go on like a marathon of Joyce Myers. So, but we weren't raised on preacher women, so it's been a little bit of an adjustment. Okay. But these preacher women, these preacher girls, and you got a lot of them now, they've taught me quite a bit. Yeah. $500 from what you gonna, they got a big porn industry up there. Lots of cocaine. Hey, $500. What you gonna ask me to do next? Hey, we pay you $500 for a few weeks. Hey, you want 1,000? Come on over here and hold this wire over at this. Hey. I don't care if old Brett Boy's on NCIS or not. He and me. Oh, did I mention that? Yeah. Oh, Brett Boy. Does Brett Boy still like his Cures? Never did understand that one. Why there's a guy named Paul taking my birthright? I mean, last time I checked, I didn't sell any porridge. Okay. I didn't offer Paul any porridge for my birthright. What he's doing on top of the canyon, well, old Tammy Grote, she up in L.A. with old Brett for the third time, and now you want to pay the gal that I named $500 to move. What you gonna? All right, and now you want to put me down on the bottom in the gutter? Listen to my videos. After, no, I'm getting goofy because I've been. Listen, yeah, I named Elise. Y'all, that's pretty cool, huh? I was just joking. I don't know where Paul was. They was always fighting. Hey, Tammy, like, you ought to let me name your daughter. I'm thinking, no way. She's like, okay, what you want to name it? I'm thinking, you're like the best sister in the whole world. Like, I love you so much. Like, I'll do anything you want. Hey, yeah, call, hey, whatever you need. Ooh, whatever you need, Miss Tammy. I'm thinking, I mean, that was like one of the coolest things ever. I didn't think she was going to do it. And, it's like, but she was, I guess she was that upset, mad, that old Polly boy. What you doing? Why am I not on top of the canyon and you are? You ain't even married to my sister. What's going on here? CIA analyst? Huh? I named your daughter too. What you think of that? Where was he? He came at the last minute in the hospital. But I always remember that. I was thinking, no matter what you ever ask me, old Tammy, I'll help you. I promise. Even if I'm a mean, crazy drunk once in a while, because I'm mad. You know why I'm calling and cussing you out, right? Because Paul eating my porridge. Hey, you ain't entitled to nothing. So, well, guess what? I came forth from your loins, Daddy, not him. Does that mean anything? No, it don't really mean nothing no more. I'll never scratch your car. Never crash anything. One time my daddy said, "Bad boy, you better be making them bundles." And I said, I am sick of making bundles. I'm going to take that chainsaw because I like power tools and I'm sick of them plastic and grease. I'm going to cut all this wood up instead. One time. Other than that, marching orders, maybe I didn't do it as fast as you want, Daddy, but I did everything you said. Yeah. Okay. I used to take showers naked with my daddy. No, we didn't touch each other. Why is he eating my porridge? Why can't I get, I don't understand. Only in America, folks. Hey. Y'all remember, I don't even remember her name. What was it, Elise? Why did I even pick Elise? I think Elise might have said hi to me one time. I don't even know if she looked at me. But, oh yeah, y'all, she was half the kingdom. I don't know whatever happened to her, but I just thought, hey, that's the only thing I think of. I don't know why. Lots of pretty girls. Many. Huh? Oh, Marnie Ryan. Marnie Ryan I guess she was in Playboy or something like that. I don't know. Was it Sherry? Was it Sherry Houck or something? She was like a porn star down and started off at whatever. She's still alive. She started off in Deja Vu or something. Guess. Oh boy, he told me she was a porn star about 20 years ago. Wouldn't know. You giving me $500? What you gonna ask me to do next? Nah, I ain't, man. I don't trust Brad Pitt. If I trusted Brad Pitt, I might think about taking $500 to move wire, as long as Mark Herman was going to be around the whole time. Whatever. No, he's the last of the movie. The rest of them, you can't. I wouldn't trust them. So, yeah. So, look, I know I'm getting silly and goofy, but I'm just coming up with anything I can think of. But that should be really, I mean, that is a lot of good. I mean, there's a lot of honest material there that corroborates my whereabouts. I've got receipts and alibis, and I mean, thousands of people that will say, "Yeah, I was friends with him for 5 minutes." I mean, he didn't like touch me or ask me and try to get, he didn't like force him. So he wasn't a weirdo. I mean, little hyper, little not hard to, he always go, but a bing, bing, bing. He always trying to go. We're trying to relax. So he's just like, hey, let old Nick go there. Let him run. Let him run. Oh, how about this one? Maranatha, University of Minnesota. Yeah. Pocket protector. Huh? Yeah. That was always an interesting one. Dave Helm. Remember, I ended up with friends with him because, well, I guess I was surprised. His family was kind of like the Bunnells. Come to find out, Bunnell, Jeremy was like, apparently, I don't know what, I never get the real stories. I got my stories. I know they're real. Made David Helm. He's a big dude now, huge, right? I don't know. Jeremy Bunnell did something, it made him mad. And so I guess David Helm went after him with a baseball bat and got a felony. And so I was friends with him for a while. Finally his dad got sick of him looking at naked ladies in the basement, I guess. And so he went down to Minneapolis, got a religious degree at the University of Minnesota. So I would go down there every once in a while. They have a church, Bruce. Oh, you know where I learned about Amberitis? Haha, old Ashton. Yeah, what's his name? They got like 20 kids. Amber and what's his name? Pete. Oh, Pete. Yeah. How did you want to talk about pocket protector and marrying up? Look, I know you're smart, man. You're gonna get a job, but come on, Amberitis. Oh yeah, like like every guy in the whole college and anybody that came to visit, they all got Amberitis. Yeah, I got that too. So I went to church there for a while. Old Parnell, what's old Parnell doing? I bet you he around the house doing that sermon. Bruce got to be retired now. Bruce running the Maranatha Church at the university. I went there. Get some video. Go ask him how weird I am. Was I running around there stealing girls' panties or something? No. And that was weird. They like small. They had their panties out like dry all the time, drying, and they're like, I think there's like trying to see who the half the weirdos were, because I'm like, what them panties? Don't go anywhere near them panties, boy. I mean, they gonna like thinking, what? Hey, Amberitis, Peter. I saw Pete one time, but I had Amberitis, so I didn't say. He probably up there before they closed that Walmart down at St. Anthony, about a block from old Roger and Carrie Plath's house. And I couldn't believe it. He had about 10 kids with him, and I almost said something, but I had got Amberitis, so I felt it's kind of stupid. I was So I was gonna say something, but once you get amberitis, you're like, and then he got her. I couldn't figure. I mean, yeah, he put his time in. He was there for what? He was there, and man, did that guy get lucky, huh? Oh, Pete, your old dog. That'd be good. Yeah, dog got him, man. He got engineer, right? Sending rockets to the moon. She was like, oh yeah, I'll have babies. That'll be cool. We'll have really smart babies. And you ain't that good looking, but look at me. I got half the kingdom here. Amberitis. Whoa, yeah. And not only they had Amber, they had about five of them, five other ones that looked like her. But yeah, I didn't go to school there, but I went to church there quite a bit. Played the foosball. Yeah. Doing all the worship, small literature. For a while, we started in the house, and then we moved over down on University. Remember, you can pick your friends. You can pick your friend. You can't. What is it? How does it go? You can pick your nose. You can pick your friends, but you ain't picking your friend's nose. Yeah. So we're down there, and then we come back for a while after. Yeah, and then I got the old amberitis. That was it. Never did go back. So yeah, I guess old Dave though Dave. I mean, he was. You want to talk about not being able to get laid, or not getting a date? Excuse me, strike that from the record. You want to talk? Oh, Kessler, you want to talk about not being able to get a date at the Bunny Ranch with about 10 grand in your pocket? Yeah, that's Dave Helm for you. I'm just saying. Nice guy, Christian, nice to me. We were friends for a while. Did some painting out at Prairie Painting, right? Did a lot of drinking. Hey, I guess he married some Molly. So Molly used to work out at the Mall of America with the one guy. He had a brother. They were older, married to Asian girls, both of them, I think now. At least the older one is, but he would go up. Like Molly was in love with that guy, and then Molly got the old what was his name, Jeff. I think she got the Jeffitis finally, and so she took off, went down to the International House of Prayer, and old Dave, he went and swooped her up. Now I guess they got 15 kids down there. Does some construction work down there in Kansas City. We're gonna do the Kansas City Shuffle. Yeah, I mean, so I did all kind of normal stuff. All right. I guess old Danny boy, I guess he's a poker player or something. Now he's selling beds. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, look, I went to churches, I hung out around people. Oh, and this is how naive I was. Can you believe this? This is how innocent of a guy I was. All of a sudden, I'm painting. I'm hanging out. We're doing Perry painting. I'm hanging out. I'm not drinking nothing. I'm sober as a dober. I'm going to church with Dave a little bit, hanging out at the frat house. We're hanging out a little bit, sleeping in the room. Old Gene boy, big old Gene, Amarillo Slim, big old Gene. We're all in the, I don't know. It's like I visited the bathroom a couple times, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not really into this frat thing. And so, but was it? So there was this girl that used to sit there too, and her brother was an engineer out in, was it Richfield? He was the city engineer, kind of a bald guy, nice, cool guy. He asked me to go play flag football one day or something, and I can't remember. Me and Dave were gonna go do it. I don't know if we ever did. And his sister used to sit next to me all the time. Really cute, really pretty. University of Minnesota. And I mean, I'm a gentleman, remember. We always got a gentleman's agreement. I'm a gentleman and a scholar. And I'm always respectful around girls. And so I've always been the one to, I mean, like, before you know it, I never got the courage up to talk to girls. So I end up with the amberitis, and old Pete gets it, well, he had her the whole time. But, I'm the kind of guy I'm not as bad as Dave, though, right? I mean, he could barely ride a bike. Okay. Hey, nice guy, though. I got to make a little fun of him because I just do. So we're at the University of Minnesota at Maranatha, and this girl, she keeps sitting next to me, and I guess finally it dawned on me after maybe a couple of months. Well, she kind of sits by you, she smiles at you, she looks at you a lot. I'm thinking, because they're like, well, I don't go to school here. I'm just hanging out with Dave, trying to go, be a good Christian guy, and maybe there's no way you like me, but I'm guessing she kind of maybe liked me, and I didn't figure it out. Finally, one day, Dave's like, "Hey, we got to go back to the frat house," and I'm like, "Why? Why? What do you mean? We got to help somebody move?" And I'm thinking, what? Oh, what's her name? And I'm thinking, who? And he's like, I don't know. And I get there, and the only people there is the dad and the mom, and they're like, move. They make me go up there. And I'm not. They call me back. They have me go up there and like move the stuff out. And then Dave finally tells me who it is, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, well, where's she going? They're like, oh, she's transferring colleges. And I'm thinking, well, this is just odd. And she sits next to me for 2 months. Like I actually liked her. I mean, I didn't have the courage to like ask her out or anything, but I sat next to her. I thought she was really pretty. Obviously really smart. You're going to the University of Minnesota, sending rockets to the moon, and I'm just some guy that's hanging out with Dave. I'm lucky to even be there, hanging out with other Christians. And now he's got me up there. He interrupts our work day and brings me back, and it's like, and then it finally dawns on me about a couple years later, like, yeah, I had amberitis, and I'm thinking, where was she, right? And she ain't anywhere, but I've never met her parents. And all of a sudden, it's her parents, and they have help. I'm like, what is going on here? Where'd this girl go? Oh, man. And then I saw her brother one time after I think he quit going there, too. And then after that, oh, man, he was snarling at me. I'm like, what did I do? I didn't know she liked me. Remember, I'm kind of slow. You gotta wait. And besides, how many times I went and looked for a salad and they brought out the SWAT team on me, and you wonder why I didn't say hi to your sister? Yeah. And I'm thinking, man, that was another one I should have got the hook in, eh? Yes, I mean, I had a lot of normal experiences with girls, and yeah, like I said, I mean, there was a time there when I used to be pretty good looking, and I used to beat them off with a baseball. I mean, they would chase me around, and not quite like the old, oh, Bubba, you're so cute. Can I come here and hang out with you, Brambo, Bubba? Nah, I mean, he had some secret potion or something he was carrying around in his pockets or something. Nah, I don't know. Because, I mean, remember, I never did see, I slept at his house, but I never did see how well endowed he was, honest to God. Never did see Dad. Never took, but I'm getting, he was about my size. And remember when old Wilson and Adam were having a pissing match, and I accidentally caught a little glimpse about, realize, hey, I am not going to be in the adult entertainment industry. I'm thinking, it ain't because of that, buh. And I'm thinking, you ain't got no money. I mean, you're kind of funny. Your brother, obviously, they're all pretty. How y'all get Minnesota Viking cheerleaders. I mean, I know Dave is. I mean, he come from the cool crowd, but he a mechanic. Let's go. What do you got in your pockets, boy? How do you do this to the girls? All right, but I had lots of normal experiences, and I hung out with lots of different people. I was friends with everybody for 5 minutes. I never hurt a soul. Never really actually been in a fight. Oh, 3 hours. I'm gonna stop this. I'll be back.